About a year younger than him, this Jeremy McWilliams, and could easily be on the podium and he'll be winning races, so he's got him with a chance. Somebody said now I'm going to have to back him. Is he really? Well, he I might be able to go and pick up some on the road there with the views of the fantastic looking out of the sea there. So I'll be playing Jeremy and I'll be checking out his top two. Surprised he doesn't turn up on a horse with a mask. And here we are, they're going up the hill from York Corner. So we've just done the York hairpin. That was gone now up Mill Road now to the Mill Road roundabout. An awkward part, of course, if you ask me. It's the only part that I never really favoured, I must say. It was put in there for a good reason, but it sort of steadies things up a little bit. But then you've got to flag out drive down towards Station Corner as we look back from the coach road. Really have the bulk never been a problem, has there? And they do have a bit of higher road race, particularly here. It's much harder to see superbikes, but the centre is much, much harder to get that, well, the heat that builds up in it when those 230 brake horsepower is trying to push that motorcycle to the air. Well, it's because it's spinning so much over the bumps. The problem is it's not actually registering on the tarmac so much as the things are up in the air, and then the wheels turning faster than the light pushing forward quite often, so that sector gets unbelievably hot. It's hard to explain how much you've got. The tyre contact patch, probably about the size, we used to say credit card, but they're bigger now, it's about the size of your phone, the bit that's on the road, and that is pushing that motorcycle to the air over 200 miles an hour, and it's constant for so long. Well, I used to use nitrogen to fill the thing rather than actual air, because air expands, gets hot and so on, but nitrogen stays reasonably cool. They actually do that, make it a very dry air, and that was our problem. They suck all the moisture out of it and run that in these tyres now. But over the years, if you think back, and it's only probably maybe 3-4 years ago, where the races all had to be short, and there was all sorts of problems with time. So, with the weather being, it's still cool on the racetrack. We're not in Mugello or Italian style of track temperatures at the minute, although the first lap, Dean Harrison just went through well, he said a minute ago, first lap out there, just finish your breakfast, lads, put your leathers on, and 204 mile an hour through the speed trap first lap, and it's going to be, I think, Honda are up for it. He's saying that he's a favourite for a race win, perhaps first, and he certainly, it comes back down, doesn't it, to 204 mile an hour through the speed trap. He's obviously fairly comfy on it, and it's going to be a situation where you can convert that. He can actually look very aggressive on this up in lane. He's pushing everywhere. Well, he knows the circuit's been. He's second fastest, third fastest right guy around this circuit ever. That aerial shot shows you down at the York airfield there. You've got men from places like that still average 45 miles an hour. Around this racetrack, and you wouldn't bet against him. He's on the MSF bike in the super class. He's running again, if you watch the 34 on the SMS Nichols Oils BMW. A lot of BMs here working well around this racetrack, and it'll be about whether he can make it work for him. Yeah, Jenny down there alluded to the wing factor, and the BMWs have the biggest wing of the lot, it's huge, and she's right, it does sometimes lose a little bit of top speed, but it makes the bikes more stable and
Attention please, can the Doherty report to the park of the course. Doherty report to the park of the course.
It has a bit more power in the lower gears because the front wing is holding the front of the bike down, and it does at high speeds up to 20 kilos of weight pushing down that front. Obviously a lot less at 80, 70 miles an hour, but nevertheless it does assist all the time. It's giving front wheel down. Looking at the 53-year-old John McGuinness and Michael Rutter, if if you're at trackside, you're listening to a marquee here in the paddock, if you've got 10 quid, it will be well worth spent. You'll be there interrogating Gage Johnson. We're pleased to get Mr. Lee Johnson coming to join us in here. About this stuff out the way. Prepare for the legal comedy to rise. So, well, obviously, Ben Irwin is riding here, but he also has decided not to be doing the roads. Such an easier job set between us. Much nicer job, there's no question about it. So, anyway, Lee, nice to see you in here, Lee. Pleasure is all yours, guys. But it's great to be back in the Northwest Sun. Weather is absolutely beautiful, obviously, to keep used to. There are fossils of the great word out of the sunshine. We don't want to happen to you, so no need more wrinkles. Certainly fine on wrinkles. The track looks in really good condition, so yeah, as we see, Jerry behind you, and is dragging all the particles out of the track. Yeah, look at that coming off the back of that. Todd and Nick, but their own team. It'll be interesting to see just how they've got these bikes set up. This year, both P and Davey are on the that they've only had a chance to build one bike. The both on both tech electronics. They have to use in the British Championship, so they're all traction control and a massive and stuff they have had in the past. They don't know the people, meanwhile, Stephen is down with Steve Plater. With the weather like this, Steve, so many great teams here, we are set for a real superbike spectacle, aren't we?
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, do you know what? I've just been around with a new entry and a different camera road, but it's all looking good at the moment. I'm just waiting for the fast boys to get back and give me some feedback on the grip levels just to make sure everything's tip-top here, you know, and to look after the guys, obviously. I work with not just the front guys, but all the way through the field, really. I think various people out there give sensible feedback for different conditions and different aspects around the course, and, you know, and I give the feedback to Stanley, the clerk of the course, and work from there, you know. And then, of course, more than likely this week, because we've been graced with Thursday night for those 3 glorious races, and then move on to the
Fair to say, you're well done with the organisers. The track looks absolutely superb. The services from that wonderful job at the link road, the resurfacing there. The water service have helped replace 48 manhole covers. You have to remember these are in preparation as well.
Yeah, very much so. You know, June was had some work on resurfacing on the exit of McAvoy chicane. There's a patch there that's been resurfaced on the link road. There's some patches down between Station and, of course, towards the link road, the Coleraine end. So there's been an awful lot of highways have been mega. There really has been really the track is this year, and the organisers have done a great job, and it's looking good, and obviously the sunshine makes it look awesome. And
Track repeat.
I got that in the morning. I did a 4-mile run through back up the beach, back to Waterroad, so that's what I'm fixing for tonight.
Where the preparations have been for the 153rd World Championship are on in July, but for now, we're at our biggest race we're working at the Northwest 200. We're watching the Hondas go round at the moment, but the man on top was, just for a few moments, Harrison Seeley. The other two, Harrison has gone back to the top of the leaderboard here in this opening session. Finished in second place, Seeley, Jordan, 22 machine. We've got with him. Place at the moment, Michael Sweeney, 6th. Lee Downs is in the front. As well, very popular here. Of course, he's in 8th place, so there's quite a lot going on out on that race. He's working, well, he's probably only just woken up, really, Michael. The big man, 34, Alistair Seeley back at the Northwest 200, and that will be some. What do you reckon, Lee, on the betting for a 30th year? Yeah, nearly all time good for what the big somebody off the back of us. See Jimmy Curran pulled over there and down at the stop box that you have to do now before rejoining the track for addition. Alistair Seeley, yeah, he's on the nickel oils, but honestly the superstar study, says he.
But yeah, the electronics and stuff that Davey and Pete will be able to look at each other's data and the two top raters to be on two different tyre manufacturers in the same team is quite rare. So that'll, well, yeah, it's definitely going to prove better for one of the two manufacturers. We're not going to say who right now, but obviously Pete and John McGuinness are all on Metzler. So yeah, there's a good variety of riders out there on different tyres and machines.
Well, it'll be a fantastic event. It's going to be huge. It's massive. You can just sense the way everyone's Jeremy's face suddenly changed. He's not an expressive man anyway, I've got to say, but suddenly looked so shocked. 119 bike there on Chris Duncan, who very nearly clipped the curb, whatever his problem was just then. But no, it came through and it was a show. Looking up the coast road as we are restarted this delayed session, the red flag session. John McGuinness didn't stabilise with a technical problem with the Honda on his own straight away. A bit uncomfortable. Yeah, I think it's just a quick shift problem, I believe. They had to just sort it in the university. I said an engine has probably let go on the downshift going into that corner. 36 Jack Coward coming in, and he's obviously, had the right stuff for breakfast this morning, and down towards the York hairpin. And our helicopter, giving us some great weather like this, our helicopter can go where it likes, when it likes. It's not being blown about. We've not got not a huge amount of draft coming off of these, so the helicopter gets a real opportunity to look around. I can't believe that aerial shot there of Paul Stewart. It's double the size again. I know we keep going on that when we came here, but there's just so much. Probably 5 years for me now. Is it really? Right, well, it's probably a bit longer for me, but nevertheless, it was just a small town. It's a huge town now. So we're looking at the 10 of James Chalk from Limerick. Out on another bit. BMW really now, because everybody's got to be here. I have to say, they don't look pretty. It doesn't matter if they work. I agree with you on that. The Carl Cox sponsorship still. He's a good boy, isn't he, Carl Cox? Isn't he, John? Yeah, he is. Very passionate about those. Never been to one of his gigs, actually. I'm probably a bit old too. Well, who have you come to pick up, Dad? Granddad. Number 6 comes out there, Michael Dunlop on the BMW, 36 years old now, 5 wins round here. And he's going to be looking for a one again here. He's an icon in the most down-to-earth kind of way that you would imagine from a Dunlop. I remember the first time I saw Joey Dunlop turn up here at the Northwest. He came in to see Steve filter his way through the some speed. Contradicted yourself. Yeah, no, but the first person, I think it was maybe 208, when Clive Paget was bouncing around the back because he'd got fastest bike here. Dean Harrison on the number 3 machine. I don't know what he's had for breakfast this morning, but he looks aggressive every time we get him in shot. He was fast right out of the track this morning. I don't know whether you've been keeping an eye on him, but
The rider's actually just got the consistency of the same team and same bike, so I didn't think he's got
the fast man. Stephen is down there with Glenn Irwin, who's been leading the newcomers around earlier.
Yeah, look who I found. I bet you wish you were out there. You know what, yeah, it's I was this morning taking the newcomers round, which was incredible. I woke up thinking I had one lap to do, and then I many people in and the leaders like, oh, you really enjoy this, you get 3 or 4 laps, every lap even across the finish line, there's no checker flag, and really enjoyable. First time I've ever ridden around the Northwest with a Speedo and on road tires, and you got 3 stations at 175 mile an hour on road tires. It's the course is in incredible condition. The lads are going to have a great time on it today.
Explain to everyone who's watching around the world how to say that not to be the first race. What's this record holders in the background?
Feeling to step away from competing. So much success here, more than I ever dreamed of, to be honest. Maybe understand what we have at home, and part of this job, I think all our eggs are well and truly in that basket, and we stay away from other distractions. Who knows, after doing 6 laps this morning.
I know someone will step into your shoes. Someone will be a superbike hero here this week. There are so many contenders. Who do you fancy for this big bike class?
I drew up here today knowing, if you honest, to get on with all the guys. In recent years, he's riding his BSB bike here without traction control. And the traction he was with for the last couple of years was, he was very good with it. BMW from all the gallery, very fast, stable, he knows his place well. Nicky, I think had a good open part. I don't think he did like it. And then with the ball to be fast, the ball to be safe, and
around here, wouldn't it?
yeah, look, of course, as I said, I'm friendly with all the guys, and probably have Alistair and local lads in there. I think a double win would be this place will be terrific as it's been from 2017, and I would, look, I'm happy for anyone doing it, but I like, I like a party atmosphere. Maybe it's a little bit too much last year, but that's the
It's exciting. Looks like Peter Hickman's just gone quickest there. But for you, you'll be here all week, enjoying it, being part of the event, enjoying the atmosphere as well.
yeah, pretty much. Look, Stephen, you're kicking on a bit now, and you're probably due to retire, and I'm just picking up a little bit of experience.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea. I'll pass the baton to you next year. Not bad. Thank you very much. Interesting on this timing screen at the moment. 22 of Paul Jordan is flying as well. The Macrofelt rider on the Jackson Racing now left off the 2. Right up there. But as Stephen has said, Josh Brooks is someone that could pull something out of the bag here as well. Because in the 2014 that was, I think he had one up by point 2014, but again he's racing, Jackson Racing now right on the 2 as well, team, the 42-year-old Aussie. Be interested to see if he can put something on this. Where is he at the moment? Still down there with the 15 mile an hour favourites. Peter Hickman has been so near, he's had all sorts of issues with exactly what it was. He's got to be there or thereabouts. Michael Dunlop's just shot up to 4th place, so he's within a lap.
James has got a different screen in the already.
He just indicated, I mean, if you got to just put there something like that, if it's too stiff, I don't really know, whatever, we'll have balance, I'm not too sure what he's in, so rather in John, have a look at me. made there. And, well, you've got to say that the man that makes it happen, along with a great team, is with Stephen.
You've got a great team around you as well, Mervyn. How's it been this morning?
Yeah, things have been good this morning. We got the newcomers away in good time this morning after a few issues early on. Just, newcomers away, we gave them the full season. We're now out of the Silverbanks at the present time. Unfortunately, we had a bit of slight oil spill at University Corner. We're playing a slight catch-up at the present time, just, and then we'll prefer the slight session this afternoon.
You seem to deal with that pretty quickly, though.
Yeah, it was fairly substantial. Just get it cleaned up and move on.
Riders from 19 different countries here this year. We've got the cream of the crop up.
We did a lot of resurfacing. We did a lot of major work around the start here in Salt. And as you say, we have the 19 countries represented, which is really good. Top-class competitors from the road race championship in Europe. So, along with all our guys, all the cream of the crop, if you like, at the end of the day, it's
Effort between council, road service, water service. You all have to combine to make sure things are right.
yeah, very much so. We have excellent support from the council here. I'm getting good support from them. Same as they get force ball and all the funding applications, which are like as well. Just so really pleased with that end of things. Plus the tourist board give us good support as well. So listen, we're very happy.
They're coming here this week.
Yeah, get to the course early.
And we've got another red flag, sadly, at this moment in time. Don't know why just yet, but we'll bring you that information as news from the circuit regarding what the problem is. Well, if it's oil, we'll probably see some dust coming out. Won the second race on Saturday. Let's have a look and see what sort of times they were doing here last year in the Super Sports. I mean, it was Richard Cooper who was the fastest man around here last year, 118 miles an hour, almost dead, but it's 33.6. So Cooper was the man that won that night round last year, won the double horsepower. Adam McLean, keep an eye on like where that heads now that we're into this practice session. And maybe just a suit where he, well, yeah, there is that, like shifts the weight around and everything. Yeah, I mean, it's mainly a cover, and you can pretty much manipulate it wherever you want it to suit the rider. Back in the day, we just had a dirty, great big tank full of fuel underneath us. It was I can't believe it, even when you put it stuck in a tank there, you guys are lucky, right? Yeah, you are. Very right. Talking to Jenny Timmons, who's still with us here in the commentary box. I mean, Super Sports, we were talking about it while we were on that break, Jenny. They are just lovely motorbikes to ride, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Once you've jumped off your superbike onto a super sport machine, they just feel tiny. Obviously a little bit less, quite a bit less power, and it's easy to maneuver, to ride safe, ride your bike. Just lovely to ride down here. I find it the dream bike to ride.
Still with Super Sport bike. Excellent. Outrageous, expensive. And they're all, I mean, the power-to-weight situation and the amount of revs they're allowed to use out of the rev range is all electronically controlled on every one of these motorbikes to make them fairly even, depending on what manufacturer you're on. But they will always have, some will have a little bit more brunt low down, like the Triumph, for instance, or Ducati, but the R6, even though it's 100 years old, I don't know how old it is really, but it is really, and we heard him from some of the guidance, it is about top end here, because you might lose a little bit of run coming out of the corners, Michael Outman.
Really good though. So one of the things with the Ducati, obviously that does have the advantage out the corner with the low down torque. That's one of the things that they actually dial out in the Ducati to make it even with the R6. So the R6 is like the benchmark, which is like power you just expect.
Scott Smart, that's the man who sorts it all out. Scott Smart, who you remember was a great 250 rider in this country. I'll say it because he hated me for it, the nephew obviously of Barry Sheen, your best mate Stevie, so that's son of Paul Smart, and obviously sister Maggie, and other things as well. He's consulted on quite a lot of stuff that needs consulting on when it comes to the technicalities of our sport. Yeah. And it is making it slightly more interesting, opening up the class. Same rules apply here, but there's a couple of 750 Suzukis, the older 750 Suzukis in Super Sports, isn't there?
Yeah.
But, and very competitive. Oh yeah, you're right, there is. There you go. Thank you, Gary McCoy. Yeah, not the...
This last year took the smallest fairing to the biggest plane. I've never had
I do notice, and I know it very often, but you often see them flapping around and they take you that much slow you down a fair bit. It's about the compromise being comfortable and not having to do top rope coming in. Nick Morgan, grey hair and glasses and shorts on. Oh, you declared summer in Northern Ireland. That is these Kawasaki, by MSS Kawasaki, of course. Yeah, lovely. Nicholas Edward Morgan, otherwise known as
Daytona is a great warm-up for the Northwest Trail.
Yeah, a lot of people would say that. Must get him much different.
Well, Daytona, we're sitting here at the trail, and we're sitting on the bank, and it's a lot straight and a circle, isn't it? Really, put it that way.
And as far as
I think it was like, well, last year he was in the top 3, and people reckon he definitely, had a big possibility of that number 1 spot. I think some mechanical, I think it went wrong for him, So, but he's the right size for a 600. He's the right size for a 600.
Daytona 200-mile race with me as team manager about 1987. That was after we missed his opportunity to go out there by the look of it.
That's Davy Todd, isn't it?
Davy Todd's not going to make it on the Malenko by Patches machine.
Oh, something's gone wrong.
I'll tell you what, just look at the machine here. It's 179 mile an hour, but Mike Brown, 183 mile an hour in those, just that lap that he was in. What did I say? The fastest we've seen before was 187, and that was the British Cooper last year. Yeah, but that's after a bit more time on the track. But these boys are going to get out there. Yeah, Todd's going to get out there. Yes, he does. So he finally runs back to his getting bike. The number 1 bike, Davy Todd, is on the number 1 this year, quite rightly too. No, Jerry, it's half firm, mate. Don't think he's half firm, yes, just about.
Get another guy here. Todd will definitely get another guy if you want to win this race. You're going to have to beat.
Well, he was unfortunately watching it earlier in the research. He got bumped off down at your corner. I think he was in for the win that one. He won the second one.
Yeah, I think he was going to be there, and he was a bit sore after that one.
Yeah, I'd say you both.
Yeah, there was just a misjudgment of braking.
We've all done it.
We've all ran on it, but the trouble is with the work corner, if you don't bend those brake pads in, if you don't warm those discs, warm the pads,
tank of fuel.
yeah, and then you put that in the work, that might just get stopped. And then what really happens is you place the discs, you place the pads, and you go brake the rest of the race. So it's important to scrub those pads in.
Oh, just common balls. It's just a slight spelling problem.
Yeah, this commentary box now.
So, Access Lou right behind us there. Fully clues back into the swing of things. I don't think he knows his way around here. This is not a technical track. It's a case of finding where the lumps are under there and sat in behind. Did you do all your races here with Marble?
No, probably half of them. Lots of crashes because of cold tires, long tires.
Yeah.
Down you went.
Grandstand, you're going to work on it where you go round through it down the
You're carrying a bit of speed, but then you have 2 right-handers.
Yeah, somebody jammed underneath the upcoat there. Bike behind me, Charlie Mortimer, and Mike Tripley as it was. Thought I was not going to be in very good condition when they yanked me back out. I was so skinny, I'm fitting under the barriers.
Just not pretty skinny, you're just good, yep, Keith.
Oh, great man, great man.
Great man, and as a rider, and then as organisation.
International Racing Association, I mean, the Grand Prix have got a lot to thank Mike Tripley for. Around the world, the organisation of many motorcycle meetings have got a lot to thank Mike Tripley. Restarted. Many red flags today. The list at the moment is Todd, Cooper, Todd, Hickman, Brown, Jordan, Cummins, Hutchinson, Sweeney, McLean. All those guys that we were talking about. Up on your screen now, and that's the difference in times. 180 miles an hour. Yeah, see, still at some
that much of a chance. It shows what he can do.
Well, credit that, would you? And I think it hurts Richard Cooper more than anything else. This is always who's twice his size and twice his weight, right? You're right. So, Dean Harrison fastest to the speed at 185. Just down there at 16 there, 180.
You can imagine Honda, so he's running pretty good up there. So it's a mixture up front. We know Richard Cooper's on that Yamaha, I think. Davey Todd, Honda, when he's on the Triumph. Mike Brown. Oh yeah, he must. I think he changed a couple of times, or maybe that was Super Twin. Changed lines for it.
Oh, Super Twin's just confusing. The rules and the different calibrations. Who would know? Somebody might be working away in the background somewhere to get it, but
yeah,
they've got another lap in anyway, so 3 laps. This has been get 3 laps out of this red flag situation.
So that's Harrison. Don't forget, Dean is right.
He's up there now.
Oh yes, all of a sudden he's just taking it.
So you can see that the track is getting slightly better. 222 at 433, 5 seconds in it. Dean Harrison, 116.0 after 4 laps of this session. Well, he's on his third, I think now. 4 minutes 38.143, the last time he's done. That 185 mile an hour that he pulled in that first lap he was out there through. Good, that's good news for the Super Spot, a bit more than they were expecting.
Your next lap for all those top boys, for Harrison, for Richard Cooper, for Michael Dunlop,